Alright, we want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rahar Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and salutations to all the hopeful elect that's pushing out this word in truth and in sincerity throughout the four corners of the globe. We're going to get into a lesson entitled Integrity. Alright? Based upon, elder brother Zaquania in our camp, he always talks about, when you talk to him, he tells you about when Satan calls your number. Or when your number's called in the heavens, man. And going back to the story of Job, where Satan want to test you. Are you going to keep your integrity? So that's what this lesson is going to be about. We're going to get some scriptures of men that kept their integrity, namely Job. That's what we're going to start from. And then some other ones, chiefly Yahushua, and then, the men of the Lord, in our terms. But first I want to start with the actual definition or the etymology of the word. And it says integrity, it says innocence from the 1400s. Innocence, blamelessness, chastity, purity, soundness, wholeness, completeness. So wholeness or perfect. So like the brother, another Zaquania Pashai, you always say, man, you can't have, it's a whole number. It's a whole number. You can't have partial. It's nothing partial about that. Either you are or you not. And that's how the Lord is. There's no gray areas. All right. Let me get the definition of that word. Here we go. It says steadfast adherence to a strict or moral ethical code, the state of being unimpaired or soundness, right? The state of being unimpaired, not mixed with any other doctrine. The quality or condition of being whole or undivided, completeness. All right, so that's what we strive to be, So without further ado, we're gonna get straight into it. All right, start with Job, the second chapter. Start at the top.
This is Job 2:1. It says, again, there was a day when the sons of the Most High came to present themselves before the Lord. And Satan came also among them to present himself before the Lord. And the Lord said unto Satan, from whence comest thou? And Satan answered to the Lord and said, from going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. And the Lord said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, one that feareth the Most High and extrueth evil?
Yeah, he leaves away from evil, man. And that's what we was just mentioning, what the brother was talking about, the elder, where your number is called, because what? The angels and even Satan and his angels, they all met with the Heavenly Father in the heavens. And then he asked Satan, where you been? He said, from to and fro throughout the earth, man. You can keep going on that. You got something?
Nah, it's all good.
All right, keep going.
It says, and still he holdeth fast his integrity.
Holdeth fast his integrity. Go ahead, keep going. I'm going to get that word. Hebrew.
Although thou movest me against him to destroy him without cause.
Right, because Satan's job is what? To make you go against the Heavenly Father. To sway your mind away from the Heavenly Father, to not trust in him. All right? So that word for integrity here is, because it's two different words in the Hebrew for integrity. Lord willing, we get to both of them. But this one here is, where'd it go? Where's the Hebrew word? Where's the characters at? Oh, man. Oh, here we go. Thema. Strong's H8538. It's Thema. It says innocence or integrity. Pretty much the definitions that we already got. Alright, so you can keep going.
Alright, I'm going to read that verse again. It says, verse 3, and Yahweh said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, one that feareth the Most High and extrueth evil? and still holdeth fast his integrity, although thou movest me against him to destroy him without cause? And Satan answered to Yahweh and said, Skin for skin, yea, all that a man hath will he give for his life. But
see, saying skin for skin, all that a man has will he give for his life, man. You know, if you touch his skin, if you threaten his life, pretty much, everything you gave, he gonna give up for his life, man. You know. So that's the part that when it comes down to it, that's when you gonna have to show that you have integrity, man. When you're being challenged or persecuted, where it becomes a life and death situation, man. That's when you're being proved. Keep going, brother.
Verse 4, it says, And Satan answered Yahweh and said, Skin for skin, yea, all that a man hath will he give for his life. But put forth thine hand now and touch his bone and his flesh, and he will curse thee to thy face. So yeah, he was testing. So Satan was saying, let me really hurt him. You know, that's why it says bone and flesh. You know, let him feel this, and then he'll curse you. You know, that's what he was telling the Lord.
That's right, because Job kept his integrity when he was getting afflicted on his family or his goods, and then he was like, man, look now, that's only because you ain't touch him. You know.
Yeah.
So his second, he was able to afflict him even more. But what the Lord didn't let him kill him.
Yeah.
You know. Oh, go ahead,
that's
brother.
what you say. It's verse 6. It says, And Yahweh said unto Satan, Behold, he is in thine hand, but save his life.
Mm-hmm.
So went Satan forth from the presence of Yahweh, and smote Job with sore boils from sole of his foot unto his crown.
Mm-hmm.
And he took him
Stop at verse 10.
Mm-hmm. And he took him a potsherd to scrape himself withal, and he sat down among the ashes.
Which we always say, man, we represent Job today, man. You know, because hey, you gotta, in order to be trustworthy, Scripture say when you get a friend, you must trust him first. Roughly paraphrasing.
Yeah, prove him first.
Yeah, prove him first. That's what I meant to say. And this is the Lord's proving you. So when we going through these afflictions, being a partaker of the sufferings of Yahweh Shai, it's a good thing. You know.
Yeah. Verse 8, it says. No, verse 9, it says, Then his wife said unto him, Doest thou still retain thine integrity? Curse the Most High and die. But he said unto her, Thou speakest as one of the foolish women speaketh. What? Shall we receive good at the hand of the Most High, and shall we not receive evil?
Right, so his wife was trying to get him to curse the Heavenly Father and die. Alright? Because he was going through affliction. What pretty much renounced the Lord, man. Renounce your devotion to him, and then the brother say, man, that's how the brother from LA, you know, he said, hey, that's how you know Satan jumped on this woman, you know, because she tried to get him to curse the Heavenly Father and die, trying to work through him, trying to make Job not fear the Heavenly Father, man, give up, you know. Was that it on that though?
Yeah. Well, it says, and all this did not Job sin with his lips.
That's right, because he said, "Shall we not receive good? Shall we receive good from the Heavenly Father, and not evil as well?" You know, because somebody carnal would think that, man, if you going through hell, then the Lord not dealing with you, which was some of Job's 3 friends was asking him. You know, but he ultimately didn't sin with his lips when he said that. He said, "Though you slay me, yet will I keep my trust in you, man." You know. So let me jump to.
Yeah, the biggest thing is he retained his integrity. You know, he retained his integrity. You know.
Yeah, this is Job 27, verse 1. It says, "Moreover, Job continued his parable and said, As the Most High liveth, who have taken away my judgment, and the Almighty, who have vexed my soul, all the while my breath is in me, and my spirit." And the Spirit of the Most High is in my nostrils. My lips shall not speak wickedness, nor my tongue utter deceit. Just like we just read. He didn't sin with his lips. You know, so he's saying all the while you be here, you're not going to do that, man. You know? It says, verse 5, God forbid that I should justify you till I die. I will not remove my integrity from me. My righteousness I hold fast and will not let it go. My heart shall not reproach me so long as I live, or his mind should not reproach him so long as he lives, man. That's one of the things. Give me anything but the sickness of the mind. Don't let us go straight from the Lord, man. You're supposed to keep your integrity to the end, man. Endure unto the end, because this is your proving ground, man. You know, he said, I will not remove my integrity from me, man. You know, he said his righteousness. So that's what that is. Your righteousness, your integrity, your uprightness. That's what that is.
Yeah.
You know, that's if you go into the other one, the definition for it is uprightness, man. You know.
Yeah. Quick precept.
Go ahead out.
So Rock 2:2, it says, "Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in the time of trouble." Which he didn't make haste. You know, he remained. This is advice to the men of the Lord when you come to serve the Lord. You know, and that's what Job did. Job, he didn't make haste. It says, "Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou is changed to a low state." You know, and he was patient when he was changed to a low state. Just a little more. It says, "For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity." Now, Job even touched on that very thing right there. Where it's Job 23:10. It says, "But he knoweth that the way I take, when he have tried me, I shall come forth as gold." You know, so he went through his test and he came forth as gold. You know, and brothers say, you know, we the modern day Job, but you gotta come forth as gold. You know.
Yeah. Hey, that's what we want to do. That's you keeping your integrity, man. You know. Let's jump to Proverbs. Hey, man, you got the saying in the world, death before dishonor, man. Being dishonorable.
Yeah, I got 31:6.
No, we're gonna skip that. Being dishonorable
11:3. I got it.
is renouncing. It's renouncing the Lord, man. Cause we belong unto the Lord, man. That's being unfaithful, man. You know? Go ahead, out.
It's Proverbs 11:3. It says, the integrity of the upright shall guide them, but the perverseness of transgressors shall destroy them.
Right, the integrity of the upright shall guide them, man. You know, so if you keep these words and you do them, that's your standard. That's where you go by. In order to have integrity, you gotta have something that you stand up, that you have a standard. You know, you gotta be weighed against a certain standard. In order to have integrity, you know, and like we said, our standard is Yahweh Shai, man. In these words, the whole road. That's what we go by. All right. And they said what though? What it say about the other one? Read that again.
Salaki. It's Proverbs 11:3. It says, "The integrity of the upright shall guide them, but the perverseness of transgressors shall destroy them."
The perverseness of transgressors shall destroy them. And what? You transgressing because you didn't keep your integrity. You sinned. You renounced the Heavenly Father. You didn't believe, man. You know? So, I'm going to get the first one. You can get the second one. Second Maccabees 7:24. I'm going to start from Second Maccabees 6 and 18. You know? And this is certain men that had kept their integrity. You know, and it's all throughout the scriptures. You know? But we're just going to touch on a couple. This is Sirach 6 verse 18. It says, "Eleazar, one of the principal scribes, an aged man and of well-favored countenance, was constrained to open his mouth and to eat swine's flesh. But he, choosing..." Said 8.
You said Sirach?
Nah, Second Maccabees.
Yeah, what you just called.
Oh, Salaki. Yeah. Second Maccabees 6 and 18. Wait a minute. It says... Yeah. It says, "But he," verse 19, "but he, choosing rather to die gloriously than to live stained with such an abomination, spit it forth and came of his own accord to torment." Hey, so it said what? He chose rather to die gloriously, man. If you watch 300, the guy said he wanted to die a beautiful death. You know? And that's what that is, man. That's what remind me of that. It says, and it behooved them to come that are resolute, to stand out against such things as are not lawful for the love of life to be tasted. So they saying, hey, you'll rather wait, let me read that again. It says, as it behooves them to come that are resolute to stand out against such things as are not lawful for love of life to be tasted. But they, because, hey, you know, when your life is being tested, that's a choice, what you going to do. But the ones that got integrity, they're going to do what he did. It says, you know, for things that's not lawful, it's not lawful. He had a standard, and he stood by that. He trusted in the Lord. It says, but they that had the charge of the wicked feast, for the old man acquaintance they had with the man, for the old acquaintance they had with the man, taking him aside, besought him to bring flesh of his own provision, such as was lawful for him to use, and make as if he did eat the flesh taken from the sacrifice commanded by the king. So them men, they was cool with him. You know? They was cool with him, and they was like, what? Alright, listen, you take your meat, get your own meat and act like you ate it, just so you don't get put to death. You know? It says, that in doing so he might be delivered from death, and for the old friendship with them find favor. I don't want to, I keep reading. It says, but he began to consider discreetly, and as became his age and the excellency of his ancient years and the honor of his gray head, whereunto he was come, and his most honest education from a child, or rather the holy law made and given by the Most High. Therefore he answered accordingly, and willed them straight ways to send him to the grave. You know, for it becometh not our age, said he, in any wise to dissemble, whereby many young persons might think that Eleazar, being 80 years old, and 10 were now gone to a strange religion. So he wasn't going to let them, his actions, him faking, even though he didn't break the law, that would have made others go astray, man. You know? He says, and so they through mine hypocrisy and desire to live a little time, a moment longer, should be deceived by me, and get a stain to mine old age, and make it abominable. Right? So he wasn't going to let them do that. You know? That's integrity, man. And he said through his hypocrisy, man. Men of integrity is the opposite of men of hypocrisy, man. You know? But I don't want to keep, I'm going to jump down to verse 30. You can read the rest of it. It says, but when he was ready to die with stripes, he groaned and said, it is manifested to the Lord that have the holy knowledge, that whereas I might have been delivered from death, I now endure sore pains in my body by being beaten. But in soul am well content to suffer these things, because I fear him. See, so he well content to suffer the things because he feared the Lord. It says, and thus this man died, leaving his death for an example of noble courage and a memorial of virtue, not only unto young men, but unto all his nation. So he had integrity, man, and he got a good name for what he did. That's why we're reading about him today. All right? Yeah, you can start with the last son.
Yeah, this is Second Maccabees.
And this is when they was torturing the 7 sons, man, 7 sons of Maccabees. So he witnessed all his brothers getting killed, and then the guy, he was so mad, he tried to make a deal with him.
This is Second Maccabees 7:24. It says, now Antiochus, thinking himself despised and suspecting it to be a reproachful speech, whilst the youngest was whilst the youngest was yet alive, did not only exhort him by words, but also assured him by oaths that he would. It said assured him with oaths that he would make him both rich and a happy man, if he would turn from the laws of his father, and that also he would take him for his friend and trust him with affairs.
So he tried Antiochus, that wicked man, just so he would break this. Why is it so serious for us to break the laws, man? Yeah. You gotta ask yourself that. But just so he would do that, he bribed him, man, with oaths, which we know he breaks his oaths, you know. But he said, hey, I'm gonna make you a rich man, and I'll be we gonna be friends, type stuff, to the last youngest son. But keep going.
Verse 25. It says, but when the young man will in no case hearken unto him, the king called his mother and exhorted her that she would counsel the young man to save his life.
Right, so he was like, man, he ain't listening, so he got the mother to do it, thinking the mother was gonna be down for it, man. And she held her integrity, man.
Rare breed.
You know? But we're gonna jump down. You keep reading it, you can keep reading the chapter, it's a good chapter. And start from 30, bro.
Verse 30, it says, while she was yet speaking these words, the young man said, whom wait ye for? I will not obey the king's commandment, but I will obey the commandments of the law that was given unto our fathers by Moses. And thou that hast been the author of all mischief against the Hebrews shall not escape the hands of the Most High. For we suffer because of our sins.
Start from 36.
Verse 36, it says, for our brethren who now have suffered a short pain are dead under the Most High's covenant of everlasting life. But thou through the judgments of the Most High, the judgments of the Most High shall receive just punishment for thy pride.
Keep going.
But I, as my brethren, offer up my body and life for the laws of our Father, beseeching the Most High that he will speedily be merciful unto our nation, and that thou by torments and plagues mayest confess that he alone is the Most High, and that in me and my brethren the wrath of the Almighty, which is justly brought upon all our nation, may cease. Then the king, being enraged, handled him worse than all the rest, and took it grievously that he was mocked.
Stop at 40.
So this man died undefiled and put his whole trust in the Lord.
See, he died undefiled and put his whole trust in the Lord. Now you're starting to see a correlation. You have to be tested with your life, man. Your life have to be tested for you to really know if you got that integrity or not. You know? And we're going to jump to Yahweh Shai. You know, our chief standard. Alright? Matthew, I'll get Matthew 4, you can get John 19. It's Matthew 4, and this is when Satan tried to test Yahweh Shai. Or he bribed him, you know, just like he bribed him. This guy, Antiochus bribed him. Satan tried to bribe Yahweh Shai. Okay, this is Matthew 4, verse, I'll start from 8. It says, again the devil taketh him up into an exceeding high mountain, and showeth him all the kingdoms of the world and the glory of them, and saith unto him, all these things will I give thee, if thou wilt fall down and worship me. Then saith Yahweh Shai unto him, get thee hence, Satan, for it is written, thou shalt worship the Lord thy power, and him only shalt thou serve. Right, see, so the Lord is the standard, man. He tried to offer Yahweh Shai all the kingdoms, man. You know, and all he had to do was worship him. And the Lord was like, man, listen, man, as it is written, we supposed to worship the Lord and nothing else. You know, that's what Satan left him. The tempter left him. So it's about your will and your integrity, man. You know, and it's another time when Yahweh Shai was facing death. Now we know that Yahweh Shai was scared about it. He asked the Lord to take it away from him. You know, it said at one point he was sweating blood. You know, but this is what he did.
This is St. John 19 and 10. It says, then said Pilate unto him, speakest thou not unto me? Knowest thou not that I have power to crucify thee and power to release thee?
So Pilate said he had power to crucify or release Yahweh Shai, man. And we know that Yahweh Shai, he had the power to send down legions of angels, man. You know, but he died willingly, because when he asked the Lord to take it away, he said, but not my will, your will, Lord. You know, so we supposed to bend to we were supposed to never bend according to not following the Heavenly Father, man. You know?
Verse 11, Yahweh Shai answered, thou couldst have no power at all against me, except it was given thee from above. Therefore he that delivered me unto thee have the greater sin.
Yeah. And then he died. He died just because of that, man. You know? And hey, get Revelation 20 and 4. I'm gonna get Wisdom of Solomon. Hey, and so now it's gonna be our turn, man. Now it's our turn to face that. You know? Because what, man? Listen, in times of hardship, you know, or trouble and persecution, the followers who claim to be followers of Yahushua, you know, they're gonna have to have that choice, man. You know, in those times you gotta cling closer to the Lord, man. You know, instead of trying to relieve that pressure, you know, by caving in. You know, go ahead, Doc.
Revelation 20,
Compromise. Don't compromise.
It's Revelation 20:4. It says, "And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua, and for the word of the Most High, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands."
Yeah. Yeah, that's the hour of temptation, man. When this devil try to give you the chip and whatever he try to offer with it, we ain't gonna do it for the word of the Lord and the witness of Yahushua.
And they lived and reigned with Hamashiach 1,000 years.
Yeah, and those are the men that's gonna be the joint rulers with him, man. You know, because what? We know some men gonna get beheaded, and it has to be that way so we can show that Yahushua is that power, man. And this is what Yahushua said, man. This is what the scriptures say. Romans 11, verse 4. It says, 3. It says, Lord, they have, and you can get Wisdom of Solomon out. Wisdom of Solomon 3 and 5. Let's see how much time we got. Okay, we got a couple. It says, Lord, they have killed the prophets and digged down thine altars, and I am left alone, and they seek my life. But what saith the answer of the Most High unto him? I have reserved to myself 7,000 men who have not bowed the knee to the image of Baal. Even so, then at this present time also there's a remnant according to the election of grace. So we know that according to the Lord, there's going to be men that's not going to bow. You know, and those are the men that you see. You know, it's because generally in times of apostasy, it's usually some people who going to keep their integrity. The Lord, he has to have it that way so that he can fulfill his promise. And apostasy pretty much just means, you know, a renunciation of your beliefs, man. And we're not going to do that. You know? Yeah, go ahead and get Wisdom of Solomon now.
It's Wisdom of Solomon 3 and 5. It says, and having been a little chastised, they shall be greatly rewarded. That's right.
Yeah.
For the Most High proved them and found them worthy for himself.
Yep. He proved them and found them worthy for himself. So that's why we got to go through these things, man. Read verse 6 though.
Verse 6. It says, as gold in the furnace hath he tried them and received them as a burnt offering.
See? Then going back to the furnace. He tried them and received them as a burnt offering, man. So we giving our lives as a living sacrifice, man. You know? And the things we go through, hey, some of us might have to die. Some of us might not, but some of us might have to. You know? But because of that this is this scripture. We're going to close on this. It says, Psalms 116 and 15. It says, precious in the sight of the Lord is the death of his saints. And why is that? Because now you proven that you believe in him, man. You kept your integrity. So then when you do that, you're going to be worthy of the kingdom, of the greatness that the Lord wants to give you, man. But only a certain number of men is going to be able to keep their integrity. Because the Lord is the one who keep them, man. You know? Any closing? Hey, but with that, hey, brothers, keep your integrity, man. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Until the next lesson, we want to say shalom.
Shalom.